the Suns-Warriors matchup was arguably one of the greatest games the NBA has seen this season. A rivalry that is rooted in the infamous Draymond Green and KD moment that ended the 73-9 Warriors team that terrorized the NBA in the late 2010s and won 3 championships in 4 years. Despite the wins, rings, and incredible memories shared between KD and his former Warrior teammates, there is still bad blood to this day.
I mean, they shot 43% from the field, which is not bad. So, they shot 50.
After an unsuccessful run with the Nets' Big Three in 2020, Durant has moved yet again to Phoenix to form another super team with the Suns' all-stars like Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, and Yusuf Nurkic. Well, maybe Draymond Green was right after all. The Warriors franchise, on the other hand, has dropped down the power rankings in recent years, with its core reaching its elastic limit and consistent playoff appearances gradually becoming a thing of the past. The Dubs came into the matchup rooted in the play-in spot in the West halfway into the season. Both teams came in on a 3-game winning streak as the stage was set for another blockbuster NBA game night in San Francisco. After coming off a monstrous 40-piece the previous night away at Indiana, Stephen Curry stepped onto the court, locked in for another remarkable night right from tip-off. One remarkable asset in Curry's game is his playmaking ability. Here, after coming off a screen from Green at the top of the key, Curry easily finds Draymond and the paint with a perfect bounce. With Yusuf Nurkic's slow reaction and late help from the weak side, Green easily lays it up the easy 2 for an early lead. On the next possession, Stephen Curry showed why he's the greatest shooter ever. Despite being tightly guarded by Book, the chef needed just an inch of space to catch the pass in the corner and drain his first 3 of the game. Damn, that was tough. Steph must have been spending a lot of time with Chris Paul in the gym. I mean, just look at these well-timed assists for Gary Payton here. Curry can really do it all, man. But to finish the first quarter, the chef had to show off what he does best: shoot threes. In this action, you will see one of Stephen Curry's greatest qualities, his off-ball movement. Here, Gary Payton is the ball handler with a shooting option on the wing. Steph is able to evade his on-ball defender, come off the flare screen, and get to his spot in the corner. And bang, another 3 to make it to 7 points and 3 assists through the 9 minutes of action in the first quarter. The Warriors were firing from literally everywhere on the court. With a 52% shooting percentage and 5 made threes, the Warriors burst onto an early 5-point lead to end the first. With 6 turnovers and 43% shooting through the first 12 minutes, the Suns were literally playing against themselves. But despite their struggles, an offensive masterclass from Devin Booker and KD was enough to at least keep them in before the game finally slipped away. After Steph's rare absence in the second quarter, the role players took on the mantle to keep the offense going. Especially my nominee for the most improved players of the season, Jonathan Kuminga. The 21-year-old's aggressive approach on the offensive and defensive end has been key in providing the extra option for Steve Kerr whenever the Splash Bros are struggling from the field. Half of his 21 points came in the second quarter, easily penetrating the Suns' defense with power drives and crisp finishes at the basket. On the other end of the court, the Suns had the best quarter offensively, led by Durant's mid-range clinic. All of his made field goals in the quarter came inside the arc, easily rising over multiple defenders to clash in on 10 points to close the half. Josh Okogie has also had one of the best cameo performances of the half. A perfect 3 out of 3 shooting, along with 2 threes in just 8 minutes, helped the Suns close out the second quarter. After struggling for most of the game, a Bradley Beal jumper from the elbow cut the deficit to just 1 and closed off the half. On the other hand, Steph made just 1 field goal from 4 tides, his iconic corner 3, to take his tally to 10 before the half. You know, Steph has some dagger coming in his game, and trust me, you don't want to miss it. Both teams came out in the second half with a point to prove. In fact, it was the Stephen Curry, Devin Booker show that lit up the second half at the Chase Center. On the first set play of the second half, you can see Steph using Draymond's screen at the free throw line to receive the ball at the top of the key. After receiving the ball, Steph was in a triple threat opportunity but took another screen from Green to create space at the top of the key. With Nurkic failing to close out, Steph knocked down his 4th 3 of the night to take the lead early into the third. Well, that was nice, but Steph took the difficulty to a whole new level. Here, Curry inbounds the ball into Draymond Green, who sends it to Klay on top of the arc. Steph caught his defender off guard, used another Draymond screen to create space with his off-ball movement, and knocked down the catch-and-shoot 3 from the wing. After draining his third 3 in the third quarter, you just know Steph was about to turn up the heat. Coming out in transition, Curry led the Warriors into the front court with only one thought in his mind: rain hell on the Suns' defense. With the Suns' defense unset, Steph came off Draymond's screen to lose Devin Booker and drained another three-point bomb to send the arena wild. If the referees were actually doing their job, that should have counted as a 4-point play. For Curry, the three-point line feels like the free throw line, to be honest. Cause how are these shots possible? At this point, it's just ridiculous. And if you think he was done, no. The chef was about to cook his best meal. After getting the switch onto Kevin Durant, the spotlight was on the moment of the night. Steph versus KD. The perfect hero and villain storyline. For neutrals, it was just a regular matchup, but for the Warriors fan, it was the chance at retribution against the #1 state enemy, Kevin Durant. And Steph didn't fail to entertain. The chef cooked the snake with a set of dribbling moves, stepped back and drained a no-look 26 feet 3 in the face of Kevin Durant. Sheesh. Steph is just too cold. 12 points and 4 threes saw the chef absolutely cook the Suns throughout the quarter and bring his total to 22 points with one more quarter to play. With KD shockingly going scoreless throughout the quarter, Devin Booker came to the rescue of the Suns in the third quarter. The three-time All-Star scored half of his team's third quarter points, easily finding his shot from the mid-range threes and in transition to keep the scores down within 2 points. With both teams shooting below 40% in the quarter, the game was building for one frantic end under the bright lights at the Chase Center. With 12 minutes left to play in the game, the real question is, who will take home the bragging rights? For a moment, it looked like it was going to be the Suns when KD went into kill mode in the fourth. Constant drives, crossover, and mid-range shots had the Warriors' defense shaken. There is literally no shot KD doesn't have in his bag, casually displaying an offensive masterclass with crucial 9 points and a dagger 3 to put the Suns up by 3 with 7 minutes left to play in the fourth. All that moment of brilliance was no match for what the chef had in store down the stretch. We will see here as the Warriors run an off-ball play for Steph with Draymond Green as the ball handler. Curry intelligently uses the Kuminga's screen at the top of the key to disrupt the Suns' defense. And in a flash, he is wide open in the right corner with a clear line of sight. Another sidestep to send Okogie into the stands before Curry drained his 8th three-pointer of the night. With the game down the wire and the Warriors down by a pair, Steph stepped up to the occasion and finished the tough layup over 2 defenders. But Devin Booker wasn't going to let Steph have all the fun and unleashed his Mamba mentality in dying embers of the game. With less than 4 minutes left to play in the game, Book walked into a cool transition 3 to cut the lead to just 1. Booker went on to score 7 straight clutch points before pulling off one of his craftiest shots of the night. After getting a screen from Eric Gordon, Devin Booker got a weaker defender in Podziemski and went right at him. He got to his spot in the paint, stopped and spun away from the Warriors' defense, and knocked down the clutch fadeaway to put the Suns up by 2 with 30 seconds left to play. Coming out of the timeout, the Warriors desperately needed a shot to either tie or lead, with seconds dripping off the shot clock. With the ball in Steph's hands, good things are bound to happen. After evading KD's closeout on top of the key, the chef went into the paint and dished out the perfect bounce pass for the wide-open Kuminga under the basket. But KD said no with a well-timed block at the rim. It was looking like another home loss to take the Golden State back to 11th and out of the play-in spot as the game clocked its final seconds. With the Warriors down a pair and just 3 seconds left to play, it was now or never. After almost getting the inbounds pass poked away by Bradley Beal, Stephen Curry regained the ball and pulled off one of the most iconic game winners in NBA history. An incredible 29-foot nuclear bomb that shocked the world and sent a dagger into the hearts of Kevin Durant and the Suns. Steph had to rub it in their eyes with one of the most disrespectful celebrations ever. After finishing with 30 points, 6 assists, 9 rebounds, and 9 three-pointers made, Stephen Curry carried the Warriors to a famous victory over the Suns' Big Three in one of the best NBA games of the season. The true definition of ice in his veins. And after the iconic game, Steph had some words in the post-game conference. If Steph keeps having these blockbuster nights towards the end of the season, playoff qualification can be just the start of great things for the Warriors this season. And before you go, subscribe and join the Hoop Pulse family to get top NBA content all year long. Until next time, peace.